to do. Hare Krishna. Yeah, you sure? Close. Yeah, no, please close. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopidhanavallabha Girivardhari Yasodhanandana Rajanana Ranjana Yasodhanandana Rajanana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Kunja Bihari Dayaranda Madhava Kunja Bihari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasani Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan Yogi ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Sri Prabhupada. Where are we? 4 to 9 is what we did, something like that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th Canto, Chapter 13, entitled Indra, Afflicted by Sinful Reactions, text number 11. 10, sorry. Shri Sukovacha Evam Sanchodito Vipray Marutvam Abhanatripam Brahma Hatyati Tasmin Asa Sada Vrishikapim Visakapim Shisukuvacha. Sorry, 1 sec, something with my eye. Shisukuvacha Evan Sanchodito Vipre Marutvam Ahanatripam Brahma Hatyati Tasmin Asa Sada Vrisakapim Shisukuvacha Evam Sanchodito Vipre Marutvan Ahanatripam Brahma Hatyahate Tasmin Asa Sada Vrisakapim. Ladies. Where am I? Shri Sukuvacha. Shri Sukadev Goswami said, Evam, thus, Sanchoditaha, being encouraged, Vipray, by the Brahmanas, Marutvan, Indra, Ahanat, killed, Ripum, his enemy, Vritasura, see, I can't see today, it's his enemy, Ripam, his enemy Vritasura, Brahmahatya, the sinful reaction for killing a Brahmana. Hate was killed. Tasmin, when he, Vritasura, Asasada, approached Vrisakapim, Indra, who is also named Vrisakapi. Translation. See, Sukadev Goswami said, encouraged by the words of the sages, Indra killed Vritasura, and when he was killed, the sinful reaction for killing a Brahmana, Brahmahatya, certainly took shelter of Indra. After killing Vritasura, Indra could not surpass the Brahmahatya, the sinful reactions for killing a Brahmana. Formerly he had killed one Brahmana, Vishwarup, out of circumstantial anger, but this time, following the advice of the sages, he killed another Brahmana purposely. Therefore, the sinful reaction was greater than before. Indra could not be relieved from the reaction simply by performing sacrifices for atonement. He had to undergo a severe series of sinful reactions, and when he was freed by such suffering, the Brahmanas allowed him to perform the horse sacrifice. The planned execution of sinful deeds on the strength of the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, or undergoing prayaschita, atonement, cannot give relief to anyone, even to Indra or Nahusa. Nahusa was officiating for Indra, while Indra, absent from heaven, was going here and there to gain release from his sinful reactions. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyanandana Salakya Shakshuran Minitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Indra, after killing Vritasura, had to face the reaction of killing a Brahmana, because after all, Vritasura had been invoked by Twastra, the father of Vishwarup, who had previously been killed by Indra, from a sacrifice, with a particular mission to kill Indra. But he chanted one syllable wrong, and the meaning changed. Instead of one who would kill Indra, one who would be killed by Indra. Anyway, the situation was certainly grave. The sages had encouraged Indra to actually kill Vritasura, and they were pleased that he was doing so. But Indra was hesitant because he realized that this demon is not a demon. This demon is actually a devotee, and he's basically a Brahmin. So, therefore, he was not eager to kill, but everyone pushed him, and he went through with it, and then got the reaction here. And the reaction was more severe than the previous killing of the Brahmana, because that was done in anger, and now it was done premeditated. So he's getting a severe reaction. And then it is explained that he could not perform any prayaschitta, any atonement, any ritualistic activity for atonement. In Bhagavad Gita it says tapas, yajna, dhanam. These things, tapas, yajna, dhanam, these are the elements of prayaschitta. One gives in charity, and by that one can purify himself from negative karma. But because this was a very serious sin, killing a Brahmana, there was no question that it could be purified by these things. Now the sages had been pushing for the horse sacrifice. We see the way the narration is unfolding. It is first described that Indra first had to suffer for some time, the reaction of the whole thing. And then after that, Indra was qualified to perform the horse sacrifice. And the point about the horse sacrifice was that it was an offering to the Supreme Lord. And because it was an offering to the Supreme Lord, it was devotional service. And devotional service can purify anything. Therefore, it was through that sacrifice to the Supreme Personality of Godhead that Indra finally did become purified from the reaction. But never by just performing some austerity or giving some charity or performing any other sacrifice for invoking auspiciousness. Sacrifices will not invoke auspiciousness. Just like Yudhisthira, in the same way, after the battle of Kurukshetra, it was advised that he could purify himself. He felt stained by the blood of 640 million people that had been killed to put him on the throne, which is a bit much. And, then it was suggested that that they would perform a sacrifice. But his point was, how can blood purify one from the stain of blood? That is a fact. But when the offering is made to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it becomes devotional service can always purify anyone in any condition. And it is on that basis that Krishna consciousness is basically spreading. Somehow or other, let there be a connection made. Somehow or other, let people hear the holy name. Somehow or other, let them get involved in some way or other with devotional service. And there is sukriti, there is benefit. It may be agyata sukriti, unknown benefit. First, it takes agyata sukriti. And when that agyata sukriti builds up, then we will make a conscious choice to engage in devotional service. And that is the point. And that is how we preach. Otherwise, we cannot go around and convince people left and right. Some, but most people are not ready for arguments. Right? They really don't want to hear. But we simply arrange for this agyata sukriti. And that is our principal approach, anywhere in the world. And thus, the chanting of the holy name. The chanting of the holy name is the first and foremost means to purify anyone and everyone. Therefore, widely there should be Harinam Sankirtan. Book distribution is another way of, again, putting the glorification of the Supreme Lord out there. And again, the Agyata Sukriti will amount until someone finally begins to understand. But just touching the book is purifying. Reading a little bit, whether they understand or not. One devotee distributed in Sweden, distributed a book to some lady. And he distributed the book. And then, after a little while, the husband came back and said, "You forced my wife to take that book, and we don't want it, and you take it back." And it's in a foreign language. It's even a foreign language. And then the devotee said, no, it's not a foreign language. Just open it up and look for yourself. And he opened it up. And then he read, for one who is overcome by anger and and some distraction. And then he just closed the book again, didn't say a word, and took it. So that is the other element. Krishna enters. He enters into these things. Krishna is present all along. And Krishna is personally intervening and making arrangements. So we need not worry. Krishna is there all along. He oversees past, present, and future. He's Trigalakya. It's not like us. We cannot see. We think this person is not interested. But maybe the person is, but maybe not showing it so much. Because to show you're interested in Hare Krishna is sort of socially a little bit, what will your friends say? What will everyone think about that, when you're actually interested in that kind of stuff? And we were like that. I wasn't just immediately telling all my friends that I was sort of interested in Prabhupada's books. Sort of kept it to myself until I finally decided, okay, I'll go for it. I knew my best friend was not so favorable at the time, so I didn't even tell him. I just left a note. Joined the Hare Krishna movement. See you. There was no email in those days. I just left a note in his room. Whatever may be. So somehow or other, Krishna has a plan. Krishna has a plan for every living being. Krishna has a plan for the entire universe. Krishna has a plan for all the universes. A plan to bring back all living beings. It doesn't depend on us. I hope not. Right? If the fate of the world depends on us, then it looks pretty gloomy, I'm sorry to say. If we are the ones who are supposed to make the difference, well, I'm afraid it might not happen. Right? We might just never get out of the start blocks, isn't it? Fortunately, it doesn't work like that. There is the old narration of the sparrow and the eggs losing in the ocean and saying, I will drink your waters, and the ocean didn't care. And then Garuda came, and Garuda cared, and Garuda said, now you give those eggs or I'll drink your water. Then the eggs were returned very fast. So, in the same way, we are simply trying to attract Krishna. We're not going to change the world. Only Krishna can. But we hope, somehow or other, to do something, to show some determination. To show some determination to carry on. We're not going to change New York. We have to be careful that New York's not going to change us. Who's going to win? It's not just we are preaching, Maya is preaching as well. And Maya is preaching full force. We hesitate. Shall we preach? Shall we not preach? Maya is not waiting. And her agents, they're not shy. We are shy. Excuse me. No, not it. Maya is in your face. Just bang, here it is, So, how can we ever overcome Maya? But simply Krishna can. And where we invoke Krishna's presence, where the name of Krishna is present, where the Bhagavatam, the literary incarnation of Krishna, is present, all right, there it begins. And then, when Krishna desires, he can interfere or intervene. We saw, I witnessed myself the situation that was there in Russia, and how the devotees, there's a handful of devotees, and they're all locked up in labor camps and mental hospitals and so on. And then Kirtiraj started a big campaign all over, like an Amnesty International type of thing, going to the media and just press conferences, big boards showing what they were doing to the people and so on. And eventually Gorbachev let the devotees go. And they came to Mayapur. So we went there to Calcutta, had a big reception, big kirtan, and the devotees, Bibi Govindaswamy leading, Indra Maharaj on the drum, and Bhakti Charu Maharaj hugging everyone. I remember how this was going on. So everything was going really well. And then there was a Bhagavatam class in Mayapur. And it was about Keshava. Somehow or other, the verse was about Keshava. So then this Russian devotee was asking, he was explaining how he was in a mental hospital and how they had given him some drugs by which when you would sit down, you would immediately feel, I have to stand up. And when you stood up, immediately felt, oh, God, I have to sit down. So for hours, he was just standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down on this drug. And then he said, but somehow or other, while that was going on, in his mind came the name Keshava, Keshava. And he had been just repeating that name, Keshava, Keshava. And then he said, what does it mean, Keshava? So the speaker said, it means Krishna with the beautiful hair. That's true. It is one meaning of the word Keshava is Krishna with the beautiful hair. But of course he was sort of like, huh? With the beautiful hair? That didn't compute. But then when he understood also meaning Krishna, the killer of the Kasi demon, then it made more sense. Because the Kasi demon stands for the all-overpowering demoniac force, right? Where there's nothing one could do again. It's just brute force, brute demoniac force. A man-eating horse. His manes touching the clouds in the sky. His hoof thundering on the ground and causing miscarriages in women. That Kasi. Unstoppable. And Krishna did what my mother told me never to do. Right? Be careful, don't put your hand in the mouth of a horse. You know what I mean? She told me, like, you can give, like, you know, on a flat hand, you can give the horse something, but do not put your hand in there. So I listened to that. I respected that big mouth of the horse. But Krishna just broke all normal behavior and put his hand in the mouth of the horse. Inconceivable. But of course, you know, did good work there, choked the demon, swung him around and threw him on the ground, and that was the end. Keshava, killer of the Kasi demon. So somehow or other, Krishna is there, and Krishna is always there. In the Adi Purana, it is stated that when we are chanting Hare Krishna, then we are directly associating with Krishna. Right there. So it's not that, oh, where is Krishna? Oh, I'm under the modes of material nature, and what to do now, and how do I rise above these modes? It's so difficult. The modes are very strong, and I just don't know how to get out of the modes. Connect with Krishna. Just connect, chant, connect. He's right there. Then, where's the question? Question of Maya's influence. Krishna Suryasa Maya Hoyandaka. Yahoita Krishna. Tarnai Maya Adhikar. No influence of Maya can be there. It cannot be there. Some remnants in the mind, some old spider webs still there, but they'll sure be cleansed within a moment. So, It is not that our chanting is some sort of technique by which we overcome the three modes of material nature. It gives you more mind control, it gives you a certain strength, an inner strength, it builds up your power. Nothing to do with that. It's Krishna. It's simply Krishna personally who interferes and just drives away Maya. As simple as that. And that's all. Bring in Krishna. And then Krishna automatically protects. It's not will he protect, will he not protect. Krishna protects. Finished. The protection is automatic. Just Krishna's presence, Maya is gone. And that is our problem. That is our one problem. Maya. Constantly Maya. Now, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his Madhurya Kadambini, is giving an interesting description. And he says that in the beginning, Krishna consciousness is just a speck, just like a little dot. And Maya is all-pervading. So that little dot, that is the initial Shraddha. That's where it begins. And then, okay, we come in Sadhu Sangha, and with that, the little dot grows, because the devotees are the caretakers of devotional activities. So naturally, in the association of devotees, one begins to take up bhajana kriya and begins to practice devotional service. And all right, the anartha nivriti, the purification takes place. And Maya is still very present, it's said. Even in anartha nivriti, Maya is in your face. So spiritual life is a great battle in anartha nivriti, because Maya is so present right there, practically on top of you. And it's like, I'm struggling so much, it's such a battle. But at that stage, what it takes is faithfulness. Simply faithfulness. If one faithfully carries on chanting the holy name, then surely the holy name will act. It's not will it act, will it not act. But due to the influence of Maya, in the stage of anartha nivriti, we just have to think, will it work, will it not work? And we're not so sure if it's going to work. It's just not working, it's not working. I mean, Maya is so strong, it's not working. It is working, just keep on chanting faithfully. And Nistha will come. At Nistha, Maya will be at some distance, it says. At Ruchi, taste will cover the entire surface of the consciousness. At Ashakti, attachment, that attachment, it goes deep under the surface of the consciousness. And Maya is now far away. Maya is on the horizon, a speck on the horizon. So it's Krishna consciousness everywhere in Ruchi and Ashakti. And Maya is on the horizon, far away, a speck, practically not there. In Bhava, Maya becomes a shadow, it says. Some influence is there of the material energy. It is in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu commentary of Jiva Goswami that is further explained, where it is said that why did Rupa Goswami divide bhakti in three categories? Why sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, and prema bhakti? Why not just sadhana bhakti and prema bhakti? Because he's also said that bhava is prema suryamsu. It is the first ray of sunshine. So why not put bhava together with prema? It said because in bhava there is still a sense of klesh, still a sense of suffering, still a sense of hindrance in this world. Something is wrong. How are you? Ooh, oh, ha. Okay. Something is still not right. And why is that so? Why is that suffering remaining? Because, Jiva Goswami says, because there's a trace remaining of previous Vaishnav aparat. So that's very interesting. And then in Prem, there is no obstacle. Now this Vaishnava aparat, we have the 10 offenses in the matter of chanting the holy name, and first offense is to blaspheme the devotees, and dedicate their lives to the holy name, and so on. Now, it is not that sometimes, by accident, we sort of slip into this offensive behavior. Say, oops, mistake, it happened just now. Oops, shouldn't have said that. No, it's not that. It's rather an ongoing mentality. Right? It is an ongoing offensive mentality. It is a blasphemous mentality. We just look around the world, right, with our envy, and we just see everyone and just sort of look like, who's this? Looks strange. Who's that? Not impressed. Who's this? Well, the mind is by nature very offensive. The mind is miserly. Kripana falahetava. The mind is want our own glories. Yes, we want our glories. You know, why? Why the glories to them? What about me? You know, no. I'm very talented. Oh yes, and you know, it's amazing that these people are always getting so much attention, and they're just overlooking me. How is it possible? It's like, you know, injustice. All these tendencies are just milling around in our consciousness. And therefore, every once in a while it comes out. Right? It comes out. It was already there, and then it comes out. Yeah. Yeah, like I saw this comic of Trump, and then it's sort of in the back of his head there was a door, and there were some demon squirrels living in there. And said like, sorry, nobody lives here, just us, demon squirrels. Anyway, whoever made that, I don't know who made that one. But everybody has his demon squirrels living in the consciousness. Right? So what to do? We need to embrace glorification. Just glorification. Practice glorification. So to stop being offensive means we have to stop being offensive. We have to glorify the Lord, glorify the devotees, and give respect to everyone. Tinadapi suniche na ends with that one should give respect to all others, not just devotees, all others, everyone. Well, to give respect to everyone, we have to see a good quality in them. Otherwise, how can we respect them? We have to see there is a good core in everyone, even in a madman, even in we have to see that there is basically a devotee within everyone. It's just a matter of bringing it out. Only then can we be respectful to all others. If we don't see good quality in everyone, if we can't... that famous story about Dronacharya sending Duryodhana around the world. Duryodhana, go around the world and find one good man. Yudhisthira, go around the world and find one bad man. Duryodhana was back first. Said like, I looked everywhere. I mean, I couldn't find a good man in this world because everyone has a fault. Everyone. And Yudhisthira came back and said, I couldn't find any bad man in the world because everyone has something good. So yeah, to develop that mentality is what is needed. If we actually want to become Vaishnava. And when we are, and positive in that way, then we can be the instrument of Lord Chaitanya, and then we feel the presence of the Lord at all times, and then miracles will happen. Any questions? Any comments? Yes.
This pastime is kind of confusing because earlier we hear that Vishnu had instructed the demigods how to kill Vitrasura. And here, and the deed is done on purpose, and he's getting reaction for that.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's a little bewildering.
It seems Vritasura is sometimes internally he's a devotee. Internally he is the qualified son of a Brahmana, because he carries Brahminical qualities. So all that is there. But externally he's got that body which is just really again very big, right? A huge mouth reaching the sky and so on. So it was just a demoniac body, and how to use that in devotional service. So that's why Vritasura himself wanted to end it. He didn't say, well, I'll carry on somewhere with this body, do some devotional service. It was just impossible to serve in that body, that's clear. And that's why, on the one hand, they saw, he's a demon. I mean, he has this huge demoniac body. And because he had received from his father an order, he had received an order to fight Indra. He was invoked for that purpose, so it was very strong. So he was the enemy of Indra. He had to fight Indra. And that upset the whole order in the whole universe. So the Supreme Lord ultimately said, no, well, this can't go on. Yeah. So, no, he cannot continue to live. But he'll go back to Godhead. That was obvious. But he cannot continue to live like an enemy of Indra. But Indra deserved that. Indra had invoked that. So was not an ordinary person. Therefore, these contradictions are there. Adi Purush or Vasudev.
Well, the interesting thing here is that he's killing on the direct advice of the sages, telling him.
Yeah.
So that brings up an interesting. Because we always think, well, if I'm acting in the direction of my authorities and they tell me to do.
Yeah.
Acting this way, it may not. Something may be a conflict in some way.
It's hard to say whether the sages were 100% in pure devotional service or whether they were in goodness. It is hard to say whether the sages were from within, inspired by the Supreme Lord completely, or if they were in some way supporting the cause of the demigods, which is mixed. So whether there was mixed devotional service or pure devotional service, that's a little obscure, I would think. Two possibilities. One is the sages were from within, inspired by the Supreme Lord, or the other is the sages were feeling, yes, this disturbs the natural order of the universe, and which we should uphold, and therefore he should be killed. So it's hard to say.
So then the principle is according to if we bring in our personal desire.
If we bring in our personal desire.
Yes, then we also incur reactions to that.
Yes. Yes. Yes, very much so. Yeah, so that's the situation with the demigods, and Indra's personal desire was there. Now, if Indra would have just been completely selfless and just would have been the representative of the Lord, the upholder of Dharma, then there would have been, he could have been absolved from these reactions straight away. Anyway, I'm not sure whether what the motivation is of the sages. And then, unless there is a commentary that would say something, but I haven't looked.
All right. In every story, besides the details of the story, there are principles.
Yeah.
That Srila Vyasadeva is offering us to understand. So here we're dealing around the subject matter of someone has done something.
Someone does something.
Someone has done something inappropriate. And then, what do you do about it? So, some people say, oh, there's no such thing as sin. You heard that, right? So they don't even think that anything they could possibly do is wrong. There's nothing I have to apologize for. I'm totally right on good. So at least a person might understand I've done something that doesn't please Krishna. Then there are different ways that people respond to that understanding. We're talking here about prayaschita, atonement. You know, somebody wants to get rid of the reaction. I want to get rid of the reaction, the bad reaction, the debt I've incurred, right? Then on another level, principle indicated by Shastra is that besides getting rid of the reaction to the sinful activity, some people actually on the platform say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to get rid of my desire to do bad things, right? So that's an improved principle of like, you know, you can do that. You can just get rid of the debt, or you can actually stop doing the things that cause the debt. But then on the other platform, what you're indicating is, on the platform of devotional service, besides not doing something that's going to get you in trouble, besides stopping doing the things that get you in trouble, there's a possibility of actually doing something in service to Krishna. And in that context, if we give ourselves totally in devotional service, all the other, you know, possible things we could do to rectify the inappropriate action are included. We're actually doing something positive, not just stopping the negative. I'm sorry, you can comment, please.
Well, I had one thought, you know, like, I mean, time is now running out, but one last thought is that Indra's world is a world based on piety, on tremendous qualification, and yet there is also some trace of material desire. Our world is the world of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where we get the association of like devotees who give us such a focus, right? Such a focus on the Supreme Lord, that for us in that way, we get, by the mercy of a devotee like Prabhupada and his representatives, it changes our desire. And Indra didn't have that in the same way. He didn't have that kind of association. I mean, we're right now in a unique position in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. Okay, with that I want to end. Thank you.
All glory to Krishna.
Ki Jai.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalaya Taksham Bhagavatam Samasitam Buddhasundaram Kandar Agom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Andani Asa Sakale Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Chirangananti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam
Bhakti, Siddhanta, Saraswati, Goswami, Maharaj, Prabhupada, Thakur ki. His Divine Grace, Gaur Kishore Das, Babaji Maharaj ki. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Satchidananda ki jai. Prem Sikho, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Vedi Gadadhar, Shivasari, Gaur Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Shri Guru Parampara ki jai. Radha Krishna, Radha Mulidhara, Go Gopinath, Shamakund, Radhakund, Giri Govardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Mayapur Dham ki jai. Prasadam distribution ki jai. Book distribution ki jai. Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.